So, after all the rushing round the other day, when they were turned out, everything is now much more settled. Ever since we turned them out, the weather's been like the middle of summer. We'd have been very pleased with this in hay time. This old lady, just look at her feet. She's had problems with her feet since she was an heifer, but she has the most wonderful calves. But she needs her feet trimming at least once a year. But she's not actually limping at the moment. She manages very well. That's an unusual Simmental out of her Limousin. And she's a natural poll, which she passed on to the first calf, but not the second one. A very friendly thing. And this fatty thing was supposed to be due to calve about January. Came bulling again. But she'll be due about June, July now. So she will calve. She hasn't got a history of doing that, so she's quite a friendly one us to go. That brownish one on the left there, I call it Chocky, and she's real chubby. And that's my embarrassingly horny heifer, which I call Curly, and she's a right pet. They're going to have to be sawn off then when she's fully settled. She's in calf, I hope, due sometime. I've only just done her. She's going to stay with them. That's one of our last lot of heifers. That could be her calf there. Not sure. She had a calf about February. Well, it's funny this year, all the things like blackthorn that usually flower in April are still only just coming out. So the April flowers are running into the May flowers. You know, we have these cherry trees here. I'll just show you that one. There's one there, and another one there. But the common here grow from suckers. They're easy to, if you want to plant one from a sucker. But they're all flowering second week in May, where normally they're in April flower. Wants dehorning. There's two there still to do. I put the big tags in when I dehorn them. They get them. We're using these button tags now from it's not Ketchum, I can't think what they're called now. Anyway, we used to always use the metal ones as a secondary tag, but I must admit they're not that good, so they quite often get infections. We always used to use those. They very rarely come out unless they get infected. That's the smallest calf that's out. Just round there. Seems to be doing alright. There's two more still inside. I mainly kept them back because the mother's a bit lame. There's nothing obvious wrong with it, so I just started giving her jabs. That Simmental there, she's one of the last ones from the milking herd. She was fed by me, it's bucket fed. And it shows she's a right old pet. Hello, dog's come to see us. They're starting to think it's time to move across the road. I let them over there yesterday, and once they've been over there, they'll stand at that gate waiting from about 9 onwards. Usually, they're going a bit early today, it isn't even 8 yet. That grey one with little horns there, blind as a bat really. She can see movement, she can see. She sort of combines a bit of movement vision she has with sound. She manages just fine. What a bang! What was that? Another bag. Ooh! Someone shot 2 rabbits. Well, that'll be the first of about 1 million. We were just overrun with rabbits. They've gone mad. You'd have thought with the horrible winter we had and late blizzards and well into March. You know, that one was limping when they first came out. She seems alright now. And that one is a short horn. Yeah, it wasn't a deliberate short horn. When the current AI man came, it was more or less the first one he did. He didn't have any limousines left or something. But he didn't. He used that one. It's a short horn bull called Blizzard. Since it's a heifer and a mechanised cow, and it's polled, decided to keep it. I usually let them across the road here every day. That's the sort of default when first half of summer. But not all the time, because they have another block of land across the river, which they go down there in the daytimes for a while, and then that becomes like their night grazing. But sometimes they just don't bother coming up. I like to let them at least think they're doing what they want. But bringing them across the road, it's a good opportunity to see anything that's limpy or bulling, because we don't have a bull. I do everything AI, same as when we had milkers. There's always 1 or 2 limping, they ought to have their feet trimmed, but generally they're not too bad at the moment. Considering they've just come out winter housing, which there's one there with a really overgrown foot. She's walking funny. And that one, it's another one has to go. I've had her in with the young ones, fattening her up a bit, but I decided to let her out. She's feet still that good. I've had her in and trimmed her. That one's a bit funny on the right side. And that's the other old lady's due to go if we never get her feet right. I think she might end up having to go with the special man who comes and just takes them straight to abattoir. I mentioned it when I was at the market. He was asking if I need to go, and I said I have to. I'm a bit worried about. They've been in here for one day. Yesterday was really hot and they more or less stayed in this corner. I don't know why. And this morning they're thinking they ought to have another field. But when there's a little gap over there they go through into the silage fields later on, and they always get this point where they'll go and check to see if the gate's opened. Then usually when you do eventually open it, they ignore it. There's loads of grass in here. Very silhouette, you can't really tell. But they haven't touched it yet, this field. It's probably growing faster than they're eating it.